Once upon a time, a peaceful rich home in Pram began to fall apart, and the reason was a maid. Yes, a maid. Her name was Amher, a beautiful, humble young woman with soft smile that could melt even a wicked man's heart. She was only 22 years, but worked like a woman with 10 years experience. The Seju family loved her. Even their neighbors used to say, "This girl is not just a maid. She is a blessing." Kaku and Daku Esiedu, the pride of the family, had finally come back from London to settle in Ghana after many years abroad. Their parents were overjoyed, hoping the boys would help expand the family business and bring more success. Kaku, the elder one, was 32 years, tall, dark, with a body that made women stare. But he was known a womanizer. In London alone, he had broken the hearts of more than 5 ladies. The family had even warned him, but he didn't care. Darko, the younger brother, was 28. He was calm, focused, and just completed his master's degree. He had never dated in his life because of his books and work. When the brothers finally arrived home, it was a beautiful Saturday afternoon. The sun was shining gently through the trees as the family driver pulled up in front of a mansion. The entire household came out to welcome them with hugs and laughter. Mr. and Mrs. Esiedu were filled with joy. After so many years, their boys were finally back home. Kaku, the elder one, stepped out first, charming and confident. Daku followed, carrying 2 heavy suitcases and smiling modestly. The workers in the house stood in line to greet them, but it was Amir, dressed in her neat blue and white uniform, who caught their attention with her warm and respectful bow. "Welcome, sirs," she said softly. "Thank you," Daku replied kindly. "Nice to meet you," Kaku added, handing her a small box of chocolates he had bought from London. "It's for you," he said. Amir was surprised. She wasn't used to such kindness from rich young men. So she smiled shyly and said, "Thank you," and went back inside. Over the next few days, the brothers settled in quickly. They visited the family business, greeted neighbors, and even took time to learn how things were running in the house. And to everyone's surprise, they treated Amir with the same kindness and respect they showed their family. "Thank you for the tea, Amir," Daku would say every morning. "Wow, your jollof rice is something else." Kaku would smile after dinner. Amir began to feel comfortable around them. They were nothing like she had ever imagined. No pride, no shouting, just 2 polite brothers who treated everyone well, included a maid like her. She was happy to serve them. In fact, she often hummed songs as she cleaned their rooms. Proud to be part of such a loving home. "I'm here. Let me help you with a tray," Daku said one afternoon, as she struggled to carry a bowl of banku to the dining table. Amir looked confused. "Oh no, sir. I can manage." "I insist," Daku smiled, lifting the tray easily. "Besides, I'm not that fragile." From the kitchen, Auntie Dora, the senior housekeeper, raised her eyebrow. "Hey, which rich man's son helps a maid carry rice?" She laughed. Then came Kaku, who one morning walked into the kitchen while Amir was slicing tomatoes. "Good morning, Amir. That stew you made last night? Ah, it was fantastic," he said with a grin. grabbing an apple from the fridge. "Thank you, sir," she said, surprised. Kaku bit into the apple and leaned on the counter. "You should consider opening a restaurant one day." Amhia smiled. "Restaurant? Me? Why not? You have the talent," he said warmly, then winked and walked off. These things happened more often. Sometimes it was Daku sitting in the living room, waiting for her to finish sweeping so he could strike up a little convo. Other times, it was Kaku asking her opinions about Ghanaian music, claiming he was trying to reconnect with home. One evening, during dinner, Mr. Siedu looked at his wife and said, "Is it just me, or are the boys suddenly too friendly with I'm here?" Mrs. Siedu smiled. "I noticed it too. But she's a sweet girl. Maybe they just appreciate her." Appreciation or admiration? He asked, half jokingly. Meanwhile, I'm here continued to serve with her usual grace, not suspecting anything strange. She just thought the two brothers were being kind, and after all, wasn't kindness supposed to be normal? But the house staff had already started gossiping in low tone. "Hey, my sisters, that house has turned into a love movie." Auntie Dora, the senior housekeeper, said, shaking her head as she folded the bed sheets. "You wouldn't believe it," the laundry woman added, her voice. Yesterday, Kaku was asking I'm here how her whole day went, as though he was taking a census. The gardener dropped his watering can and added, "And Daku too." He told I'm here to sit down small and rest her legs. As if she's the first lady of Ghana. The security man at the gate even joined in, laughing. Very soon, they will be fighting over who will carry her broom for her. Auntie Dora clapped her hands together, laughing. "We are no more working in a house again, no. This place is now called Esiedu and Sons Romantic Drama Limited." The cook popped her head from the kitchen and said, "Hey, you should see the way Dako helped her carry tomatoes to the kitchen." "I thought it was wedding happening today." "Don't worry," Auntie Dora said, wiping her fake tears. "When they start washing her uniforms for her, we will all clap for them." The boys are falling down slowly. They all burst into laughter, shaking their heads at the movie unfolding in front of them. It didn't take long for Mrs. Asiedu to start catching the fresh air in her new house. She had always been close to her son, especially now that they were back from abroad. Every chance she got, she would sit with them, chat, and pretend she was just a happy mother enjoying her family. But the painful truth is, Mrs. Asiedu had quietly been demoted in her own house. All the attention her sons used to give her, the "Mommy, are you okay?" and "Mommy, let us help you with that," had now shifted straight to one person. I'm here, the maid. Mrs. Asiedu would enter the kitchen, hoping for her usual "Mommy, come and sit down small." But this time, it was Daku, pulling out chairs for Amir. She'd pass through the living room expecting Kaku to ask if she needed anything, only to hear, "I'm here. Don't stress yourself. Let me carry that tray for you." Even in the backyard, where she would normally get all the attention, it was now, "I'm here, be careful. The ground is slippery." Mrs. Asiedu, being the dignified woman she was, would pretend not to see anything. She'd inspect flowers that didn't need inspecting, but as she turned away, she would quietly shake her head and mutter, "From Queen Mother to ordinary spectator in my own house. This my house is now like a telenovela," she murmured one afternoon, standing by the corridor and watching from the corner of her eyes as Darko pulled out a chair for here like a perfect gentleman. It was quite a drama, but to Mrs. Asiedu, it was loud and clear. One Sunday afternoon, she walked into the dinner area and saw Darko casually helping here carry a basket of clean plates. "Oh, Darko," she smiled, folding her arms. Now you've become a kitchen assistant, eh?" Darko chuckled. "Mom, she's struggling. I couldn't just sit and watch." Here lowered her head and smiled nervously, then quickly walked away to the kitchen. That same evening, she caught Kaku standing near the laundry line, talking to here while she was hanging some bed sheets. "What's happening here?" she asked playfully. Kaku laughed, just asking her how she manages to fold these big bed sheets alone. It's not easy, you know. Mrs. Asiedu raised an eyebrow. "Since when did you care about laundry matters?" Kaku whined. "Since today, Mama." Later that night, she sat in her room in deep thought, the same question ringing in her mind. Why here? There are 4 other maids in their house, but every time she entered a room, it was here she saw her sons talking to, smiling at, helping, and watching. The next day, after breakfast, she called both sons to her bedroom. "Close the door behind you," she said with a soft but firm voice. The brothers looked at each other. Darko closed the door and they sat on the edge of the bed like 2 little boys being scolded for breaking a vase. She sat in her armchair, crossed her legs, and looked at them with a slight smile. "Now tell me something," she began. "What is so special about here?" Kaku blinked. "Special? Mom, what do you mean?" Mrs. Asiedu chuckled, shaking her head. "Don't you dare act like I'm blind. You two have turned into her bodyguards, always around her, always helping her. And I'm a woman. I see these things." Darko cleared his throat. "Mom, she's hardworking, that's all." "She is." Kaku nodded, very respectful too. Their mother leaned forward. "So out of all the maids in this house, Isi, Rita, Ajua, even Mary, who has been with us for 3 years, you only carry plates and fold laundry when here is involved?" Darko laughed nervously. "It's not like that, Mom." Mrs. Asiedu smiled slyly. "You see, even Auntie Dora said some of the maids are getting jealous. The attention is one-sided. Only I'm here. I'm watching you too. I've been watching you guys so much." Kaku raised his hands. Mom, I swear there's nothing going on." Kaku nodded quickly. "Honestly, we haven't said or done anything inappropriate." She smiled again. "So you agree there's something to be said or done, eh?" They went quiet. Mrs. Asiedu stood up and walked to the window. "Boys," she said, this time very softly. "I'm not angry. I'm not accusing you of anything. But I know my sons, and the way you both look at that girl, hey, there's only God that can interpret that." The room was silent for a few minutes. "Mom," Darko finally said, "even if something was going, we've not acted on it." Kaku added quickly, "Exactly. We are just, being kind." "Kindness is good," she said, turning to face them again. "But let's not pretend kindness doesn't carry feelings sometimes. Just be honest with yourselves and remember, this house is watching. People talk." They nodded slowly, with their eyes looking down. She smiled, walked over to them and placed a hand on each of their shoulders. "Be wise, be respectful, and whatever you feel, don't let it destroy the peace we've built in this house." "Yes, Mom," they both said in unison. She opened the door and they walked out, She muttered under her breath with a smirk. 2 brothers, 1 maid. God. Intervene before I lose my mind at this household. 2 weeks later, one cool evening, the brothers were sitting quietly in the living room sipping some chilled fruit juice. The TV was on, but neither of them was watching. Kaku leaned back, glanced at his younger brother and said with a teasing grin, "Hey, Dako, this is our maid, I'm here. That girl no be ordinary, yo. She's not ordinary at all. I think I did fall for her." Dako nearly spilled his drink. He turned sharply. "You what? You like her?" Kaku laughed softly, nodding. Yes now. You haven't seen how gentle she is? The way she carries herself? Very respectful. Me? I'm serious, oh. I go talk to Dad about him. Maybe this time I'll settle down with a quiet, decent girl. Dako's smile faded. He looked away, trying to stay calm inside. His heart was pounding. He had felt the same way. He had been watching them here too. The way she always greeted him with a soft smile. The calm way she spoke. The way she never disrespected anybody in the house. Could it be love? But he said nothing. Not that night. The next morning, after breakfast, as everyone scattered to their rooms, Dako tapped Kaku's shoulder and whispered, "Bro, can I talk to you small?" They stepped outside to the veranda. Dako looked around, then said in a low voice, "Kaku, please, I beg you, stay away from here." Kaku frowned. "Why? What are you even talking about?" Dako took a deep breath. "Because you've had enough women in your life already. Even in London, you still have girlfriends calling you. Let me be honest, this one, I want her." Kaku blinked. "You like her too?" Dako nodded slowly. "Yes, I've never dated anyone before. Never chased girls. And I'm not like you, but I'm here. I feel something real." Kaku's expression changed. He stepped back. Dako, so you're now judging me because of my past? Do you think I'm not serious about love? That's not what I'm saying, Dako replied quickly. But this girl is different. She deserves someone serious. Someone who won't play with her heart. Kaku folded his arms. "So you think that person is you? You think I'll just step aside for you?" Dako's voice rose a little. "I'm saying you've had your chances. Let me have this one, Kaku." Kaku shook his head slowly. "Hey, so now you don't talk to me like you better pass me, eh? Because you did act holy." Kaku snapped. "I'm not acting holy. I just know I'll treat her right." And just like that, the argument began. Days passed, then weeks passed. No one noticed anything at first. On the outside, everything looked normal. But inside the walls of the Siedu mansion, the air between the brothers had changed quietly. They no longer stayed long in the same room unless their parents were around. Even then, their smiles felt forced, tight, and dry. Kaku now preferred to spend more time in his room or by the pool. Dako also mostly stayed in the library or quietly helped with home accounts in the study. Amia began to notice. One afternoon, as she was arranging the books in the study, she gently asked Dako, "Please, sir, are you and Kaku okay?" Dako looked up surprised. "Why do you ask?" She hesitated. It's just that you two used to laugh a lot together. These days, you barely talk. Dako smiled faintly and shook his head. Oh, that? We are fine. I'm here. Maybe we are just busy. He nodded slowly, but something in her heart told her it wasn't the truth. Later that week, she caught Kaku in the kitchen drinking water and gently approached. Sir, please, is everything alright between you and your brother? She asked softly. Kaku looked at her with raised eyebrows. Hey, so you two you've noticed? She frowned. Kaku quickly chuckled. Don't worry, I'm here. Brothers fight all the time. Normal, okay? She wasn't convinced, but she smiled and excused herself. Soon, the other maid started whispering. Hey, have you noticed these two brothers? One of the cleaners, Akosia, said while sweeping the hallway. They don't even greet each other properly again. I saw Daku walk past Kaku yesterday. Like he didn't even see him, except the laundry girl. Something is wrong. They all turned to look at Amhir as she passed, carrying fresh towels. She pretended not to hear, but deep down, she felt it. The warmth in the house was slowly cooling. The music from the piano room no longer came from both brothers like before. Being their mother, Mrs. Asiedu began to wonder. One evening after dinner, she leaned over to the husband and whispered, Honey, do you think our sons are fighting? The house feels strange these days. Mr. Asiedu looked up from his newspaper. I've noticed it too, but they'll be fine. Maybe they just need some time to adjust. But things were getting worse. One morning, Kaku entered the dining room and found Dako already eaten. He paused, nodded stiffly, and sat down at the far end. Dako didn't say a word, not even a glance. The silence stretched between them like a wall. Amia walked to serve tea, but she could feel the coldness. She smiled politely and said, Please, your tea. Neither of them said thank you. That had never happened before. She quietly left the room. Her heart was heavy with confusion. What was going on in this house? The house driver told the security man at the gate, these boys, something they inside. I don't like the way they walk past each other like ghosts. Still, no one knew the root of it, not even Amhir. That day, everything came out. They were in the study. Their parents had called them after noticing that the tension between them was now spilling into family discussion, affecting the harmony of their business meetings. What started as a normal conversation quickly turned into heated words. Dark, unable to hold it any longer, stood up from the leather armchair and blurted out, Mom, I love him here. That's the truth. I told Kaku to leave her for me since he has so many women abroad, but he still wants her. And I know he would just use her and leave her broken. Kaku stood up sharply from the opposite chair, his eyes blazing. Don't tell me nonsense, Daku. You know very well Amhir is different. You think I don't see it? She's not like the others. She's special. I've never felt like this before, not even in London. So who are you to tell me to leave her? Your mother. Sister Siedu froze in shock and held her chest, staring at both sons like they had lost their minds. You two are fighting over a maid? She asked slowly, her voice raising in disbelief. Mom, she's not just a maid. Dako replied quickly. She's kind. She's humble. She treats this family with respect. Can't you see how much she adds to this house? Kaku snapped. Yes, and that's why I want to marry her too. You? Marriage? Dako laughed bitterly. Do you think this one is one of your London girls you can use and dump? Before Kaku could reply, Mrs. Asiedu slammed her hand on the table. Enough! Stop this! What is wrong with you two? She shouted. They both went silent, breathing hard. She stood up. Her voice was trembling, not with weakness, but with authority. So all this while, the tension in this house, the silence, the distance, the awkward greetings, it's all because of Amhir, a girl who sweeps this house and serves you food every day without knowing she's the reason her peace is being destroyed. Neither of them said a word. She shook her head in disbelief. Oh my God, this is shameful. You two are brothers, and now you are allowing a woman who doesn't even know you admire her to break that bond? Do you even know if she'd like either of you. Kaku tried to speak, but her mother raised her hands. Let me finish. You both have allowed feelings to enter your heads without wisdom. You, Kaku, you think we don't know your record in London? How many women have cried because of you? And Daku, you too should know better. You don't solve love issues by competing inside the same house. Mr. Siedu, who had been quietly listening, now leaned forward. I think it's time we call him here. The brothers turned to look at him in surprise. What? Call her? Daku asked. Yes, the father said calmly. Since both of you claim you love her, time to hear from her. She has a voice. Mrs. Asiedu nodded slowly. Yes, let's hear what this girl herself has to say. Before you two scatter this home, the brothers looked at each other, tense, silent, and unsure. Outside, the sun was slowly setting behind the orange sky, but inside the Asiedu home, the truth was beginning to rise. Mr. and Mrs. Asiedu called here to the study room. She came in with her head down, thinking she had made a mistake. My dear, Mr. Asiedu said gently, we want to ask you something. Don't be afraid. Yes, Daddy, she replied softly. Our son, they both are in love with you. Amhir's eyes opened wide in shock. Me? Love me? She said slowly, as if her tongue refused to believe what her ears had just heard. She stood frozen at the entrance of the study, clutching the edge of her wrapper like someone who had just walked into the wrong meeting. Mrs. Asiedu walked closer to her, gently holding her hand. Yes, I'm here. Sit down, my dear, she said softly, guiding her to the empty sofa. But madam, please, I don't understand. Amir whispered, still standing. I'm just a maid. I clean, I cook, I serve. I don't even come from a proper home. I don't deserve ace. But Mrs. Asiedu cut in kindly, pulling her down to sit. Who told you don't deserve love? Or that because you are a maid, you can't be admired? Tears welled up in Amhir's eyes and her voice trembled. But madam, your sons, they are rich. They are fine men who have lived abroad. They've seen beautiful ladies, classy ladies with proper English, proper dress and proper families. Look at me. I only came to Accra 2 years ago. I've been struggling since I was young. Sometimes I ask myself if I even belong in a house like this. Mrs. Asiedu leaned back and sighed. My dear, that is what shocks me about life. You entered this house and changed it in a quiet way. The peace, the humility, the way you treat everyone. Even the other maids admire you. You are like a fresh breeze. That is what makes you beautiful. No clothes, no makeup. Amhir wiped her eyes quickly, the edge of her scarf. So it's true, she said hesitantly. The young masters, they like me. Mrs. Asiedu nodded slowly. Both of them. And sadly, they've been fighting because of you. Amhir shouted softly, placing her hand on her chest. Madam, no, this can't be happening. How can I be the reason two brothers are angry with each other? I'm sorry, I never knew. We know you didn't know I'm here. That's why we called you here. Mr. Asiedu said, you need to speak your truth because you don't want this to break our home. There was a long silence. The air was heavy, as if the whole room was holding its breath. Amhir looked down, nervously twisting her fingers. I didn't plan to say this, but I think I have to be very honest with you, madam. Before you all think I'm here with bad intention. Mrs. Asiedu leaned in listening. Amhir took a deep breath. Then her voice came in slow and gentle. When I first came to Accra, I was only 17. I came with nothing, no money, no family. I was just walking around Makola, looking for work. That was when I met a boy. His name is Bedu. He was selling second-hand shoes from the roadside. She paused, her eyes misty again. He saw I was lost. He gave me food, gave me a place to sleep. He looked after me like a brother. He even sold his phone once just so I could attend night classes. Madam, everything I am today is because of that boy. Even this job, he helped me apply, and now I've been saving money quietly so I can go to the nursing school next year. That has been our plan from day one. Mrs. Asiedu looked at her stunned. You mean you are in a relationship? She asked gently. Amir nodded slowly. Yes, madam. I didn't want to mention it because people laugh when you say your boyfriend sells shoes. But he's more than that to me. I owe him my life. I can't throw all that away because of two rich brothers I barely know. Even if they are kind, I respect them. But my heart, Mrs. Asiedu covered her mouth in shock. Oh, I'm here. I'm sorry, madam, I'm here, said. I never wanted to cause trouble. Mrs. Asiedu sighed deeply and touched her gently. You didn't. You only spoke your truth. And you've shown more loyalty and wisdom than many. You've done nothing wrong, my dear. You've done everything right. Just then, Mr. Asiedu walked in and looked at them quietly. Is everything okay? He asked. Mrs. Asiedu nodded slowly with a calm face but thoughtful. Yes, now we understand everything. Amir stood up slowly. Please, madam, can I go? Mrs. Asiedu held her hand again. Don't worry, you've done well. She watched Amir leave the room quietly and slowly turned to her sons. Her eyes were no longer gentle. They were sharp and disappointed. You've had everything yourselves, she began firmly. If you had killed each other or destroyed your brotherhood over someone who doesn't even recognize your love, what would you have gained? Tell me. What would you have achieved? Kaku and Daku stood silently, both looking down like schoolboys caught stealing meat from the soup pot. I am ashamed, she continued, her voice raising. Two well-educated men from a respected home. Look at you, arguing like street boys. Dako, Kaku, is that how I raised you? Mom, please. Dako tried to speak, but she raised her hand sharply. Let me talk. She will listen today. You thought because you've come from London, you can turn this house into a boxing ring? What is this nonsense? Kaku shifted uncomfortably. But mom, we didn't know she had someone. Oh, so now you are saying if she didn't have anyone, the fight would make sense? She snapped. Kaku, with all the men you've known, you couldn't control yourself? You saw the girl was innocent and decent. Why did you both decide to chase her like a prize? Dako rubbed the back of his neck, looking ashamed. Mom, I truly felt something for her, he said quietly. And you? She turned to Kaku. She felt something too? Kaku hesitated. Yes, Mom. I won't lie. She felt different. Pure. Mrs. Asiedu scoffed and folded her arms. Pure. And you two were ready to stain that purity with jealousy and competition. Do you know what would have happened if she had chosen one of you? The other would never forgive her or forgive his brother. And in the end, she would become the enemy in this house. There was silence. Thick silence. Then, Mr. Asiedu, who had been standing quietly all along, finally spoke. I kept quiet to hear the truth, and I've heard enough. He said in a low, firm voice, from today, this house must change. You two will fix what you've broken. The way you've been avoiding each other, giving attitude even at dinner, do you think your mother and I didn't notice? Daku looked at his brother. Kaku, I'm sorry, he said with a sincere voice. I should have handled it better. Kaku nodded. Same here, bro. I allowed my feelings to cloud my head. Mrs. Asiedu pointed at both of them. You will both sit down tomorrow and apologize to I'm here. And then you will focus on something meaningful. If love will come to you, it will come clean. No rivalry and foolish intentions. Yes, Mom, they both said quietly. Good. Now go to bed. And if I see you two whispering again about any maid in this house, I will send both of you back to London. She warned. Half serious, half joking. They looked at each other for a long while. Then Kaku muttered, We really messed up, bro. Kaku sighed, big time, bro. Early the next day, before Amhir was ready to start her daily chores, one of the younger maids came running to her. Madame says she should come to the living room, she said breathlessly. Amhir quickly wiped her hand, adjusted her scarf, and hurried to the living room, wondering what it could be so early. There, she found Mr. and Mrs. Asiedu sitting side by side, both looking calm but serious. Good morning, Ma. Good morning, sir. Amhir greeted with a gentle bow. Good morning, my dear, Mrs. Asiedu smiled. Sit down, Amhir, Mr. Asiedu said, pointing to the single seat opposite them. Amhir sat nervously, clutching the edge of her dress. Then, Mr. Asiedu leaned forward and said warmly, Amhir, throughout the night, my wife and I thought deeply. What you did yesterday saved our family. You see, there are people who don't wish us well. And if things had gone wrong, they would have used it against us. This house could have fallen apart. He paused and looked into her eyes. Many young ladies in your shoes, who, working as maids, would have used the situation to their advantage. But you didn't. You remained pure, honest, respectful, and that's rare. Amhir's eyes welled up with tears. We have decided, he continued, to sponsor you fully to the nursing school, any nursing school of your choice. Amhir gasped. There, Ma, I don't know what to say. Mrs. Asiedu reached into her bag and brought out an envelope. This, she added, is the money for your boyfriend, Bedu. He can use it to start a small business and take care of you properly. That young man is lucky to have you, and we pray he cherishes you forever. Amhir couldn't hold her tears anymore. She dropped to her knees. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, sir. God bless you. I never expected this. Mrs. Asiedu got up and gently lifted her. Don't kneel. You deserve it, Amhir. You've become part of this family. She held both Amhir's hands and smiled again. And when you are on holidays and we are traveling abroad, you will join us if you are free. You will see the world. Enjoy small for yourself. Amhir covered her mouth, still shocked. And finally, Mrs. Asiedu said with a playful smile, about our sons, they are your responsibility now. Amhir blinked. My responsibility? Yes, Mr. Asiedu chuckled. Any woman they want to bring into this house, you will help us assess her. Mrs. Asiedu added, make sure the girl has your kind of heart. If not, we won't accept her. We trust your judgments. Amhir laughed shyly, wiping her eyes. This is too much. I never expected this kindness. Thank you, Ma. Say, I will never forget this. Mr. Asiedu hugged her tightly. You've earned it, my dear. Now go. Go and get ready. Today is a new beginning. As Amhir stepped out of the living room with joy in her heart and purpose in her steps, The morning sun shone brighter than usual. She wasn't just a maid anymore. She was a daughter of the Esiedu home. And somewhere in the distance, life was smiling at her because kindness, humility, and honesty had finally brought her the reward she never imagined. The moral of the story is, true love is not about wealth or beauty. It is about loyalty and sacrifice. Never look down on someone because of their job or their background, and never forget those who helped you when you had nothing. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Derba Tales, for more thrilling stories. Thank you.